Good morning, good evening, greetings to anyone who's watching this right now. So, I'm doing this for the scholarship, but not really. I'm really only doing it because I was asked to do it. So I'm doing it. During the election, people feel divided, and they should be. They should feel that way. You know why? Because in the heart of this nation, there are deep scars and deep contradictions in the Constitution and within all of the institutional structures. The Constitution talks about, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but only for those that are white males. The Constitution talks about freedom, freeing the slaves with the 13th Amendment, except for, criminalization. So what they do is they criminalize, the indigenous people of this planet for doing what they did naturally, growing the cocaine plant, smoking the marijuana plant, etc. And they actually monetize this. They actually distorted the natural herbs and pumped this into our neighborhoods, and it only became a problem when it seeped into theirs, okay? Over the course of history, indigenous people, when I say indigenous people, I mean, people of native descent. That doesn't mean necessarily African, because Africa had a different name before it was conquered. That doesn't mean Aztec, because, Aztec people had a different name before they were conquered, okay? There are a lot of scars, and, especially being a black man in America, we have chronic PTSD. People talk about slavery and racism like it was, 400 years ago. No, that's not true. My grandparents experienced that, and they raised my parents up in that kind of mindset, okay? So there's a lot of scars there, so we have to show each other collectively that we can trust each other. And that's the only way we're going to heal. We have to all accept our wrongs, all accept our faults, and say, you know what, I fucked up, but I'm willing to fix it, I'm sorry that my ancestors did your ancestors wrong, but I'm going to show you how I'm not going to do that to you, all right? That's all I have to say. The thing that I hear, amongst the, amongst the alt-right and, other, racist groups is, oh, how come, black people or indigenous people just don't get together and form their own economy? We tried that. You know what you guys did? You guys burned our shit down. You guys came in and monopolized our shit. The whole Roaring '20s happened as a result of the indigenous culture, okay? But you guys hijacked that. The same thing with hip hop. Hip hop started off as something that was speaking to the hearts and minds of the people. But what happened? The Ashkenazi Jew got in that. They put their hand in that, and what they did was they distorted it and turned it into a misogynistic culture. They turned hip hop into a punk rock culture, mainly. Now, the beautiful thing about hip-hop is that hip-hop is actually the amalgamation of, multiple different genres into one, and the mixing of that, okay? It's like a controlled chaos, but they took that controlled chaos and they spun it completely out of control, okay? They got their hands in the pockets of, of our rappers, okay? Not only in their pockets, but in their minds, okay? And then, you guys put us in a perpetual position to, always, fight against each other. And over what? Over the dollar, okay? So, and also dealing with, the slavery mindset, you're dealing with, think about it, when, slaves were owned back in the day, they were basically, kept in the mentality of a child. They had like an 8-year-old mentality. So you're dealing with a 40-year-old man in most cases, or a 30-year-old man who really only has the mental capacity of an 8-year-old. Not because they, are like that naturally, but because they were dumbed down. You had, multiple languages, multiple cultures. A lot of our maths and sciences have been hijacked. Everything has been stolen, okay? Even the land that, we're on. You hear people talking about make America great again. And what they're really saying is, make America white again. You see the the gentrification of, black and Hispanic, neighborhoods, okay? And you make it hard for us to come in and set up shop and take care of our own people, okay? But what you do is you allow the, Koreans to come in, or, Asians to come in and set up a mom and pop shop for over fucking overpriced fruit in our neighborhoods. You allow the, these hippie, wannabe reggae people to come in and, set up coffee shops, playing our music, again, hijacking our culture. But, that's okay for you, because nothing you've ever done is original, okay? So you have to realize that, this nation was built on, on indigenous blood, okay? There's whole tribes of people. Everywhere where the European has been, there has been nothing but destruction, okay? And, at this point, you guys think that, we're going to do back to you what you did to us. We should. We really should. But you know what? That's not in our hearts to be that way. At the end of the day, you have to, sleep with that. You have to go to bed with that, okay? You call yourself, conquerors, a lot of you alt-right motherfuckers, but the thing about that is that, there's a price to pay. When you wipe out, entire, clans or races of people, the cosmic price for that is paying in your own blood, okay? So during this election, you should feel divided. You should. If you don't feel divided, then you're fucking blind. You're blind. Okay, it's a good thing you feel divided, because now that we have something that we're divided about, we can now sit down at the table of brotherhood, as Martin Luther King spoke of, and, talk about what's dividing us. We all collectively have to fucking write this, okay? It's not just a black people thing. It's not just a white people thing. It's not just anybody thing. We all have to sit together and say, okay, this is where we fucked up. Where are we going to move forward as a humanity, okay? And, I'm being nice, because I could get into the genetics of this, okay? I'm being nice. I could really get into the genetics of this, but I'm not, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Life is life, and we're all fucking stuck here together. So either we're gonna make this work, or we're gonna kill each other. That's what's gonna happen.